From Wish TV and the All Indiana Podcast Network, this is the News 8 Daily 8 Podcast, a Wish TV News 8 update.
Hi, this is Hannah Mordeau, and this is your News 8 Daily for Wednesday, February 4th. Mostly going to be cloudy and colder today. Right now, we're in the mid-teens when it comes to temperature. The high today is only going to be about 23 degrees. Colder midweek, a light snow chances late this week as well. So no warm-up yet. Since the death of Fisher's teenager Hailey Buzbee, the number of signatures on an online petition to change state law has grown to more than 80,000 people. Now, state lawmakers are also talking about improving laws to help find missing young people. News 8's government reporter Garrett Bergquist reports.
Fisher's delegation at the State House tells me lawmakers already are talking about options. Police classified Hailey Buzbee as a runaway. She did not meet the criteria for either an Amber Alert or a Silver Alert. Representative Chris Jeter tells me he wonders if it's time to revise the rules.
You know, we know in this case that very early on, law enforcement officials had received information that led them to a suspect fairly quickly. And so I think that in that instance, we should be able to bypass some of those rigid rules and get the Amber Alert out a lot quicker because, again, not a traditional runaway situation. And I think law enforcement knows that typically pretty early.
The Change.org petition proposes a so-called pink alert. This would be for children who meet certain risk factors but don't qualify for an Amber Alert. Jeter says he'd first like to revisit Amber Alert criteria to limit confusion. The petition also demands mandatory classroom education on online grooming.
I think it's a delicate balance between giving parental rights and then holding online developers accountable regarding what's appropriate for minors and what isn't. However, I think that takes away from the message of honoring the life of Hailey at this moment in time. I think it's important that we center our conversations around the person she was and the life that she lived.
The case even has the attention of the House's most powerful member, House Speaker Todd Houston, who also represents Fishers. He says, "This is a devastating tragedy for our community, and my heart goes out to Hailey's parents, family, and loved ones. We will work with urgency to look at ways we can strengthen Indiana's laws to protect young Hoosiers and prevent tragedies like this from occurring, including making sure a situation like this triggers an alert." And on Tuesday, Governor Mike Braun said, "I am working with the Indiana State Police to identify solutions to gaps in our alert system. I urge the legislature to take action to prevent further tragedies, and I call on big tech to stop selling their product to children." Jeter tells me the grooming awareness training likely will have to wait until next year's session. He says there's some talk of tacking the alert changes onto another bill this year, though there's no guarantee. I'm Garrett Bergquist for Wish TV and WishTV.com.
Some people who used to work with Hailey are joining the call for a new alert system. Hailey worked at the Kitchen on Main in Fortville for more than a year. The restaurant staff have put out a box of pink ribbons for anyone to take in support of Hailey's law. The restaurant's owner says they've given away hundreds of ribbons so far.
This wasn't our idea. We didn't come up with pink ribbons or, Hailey's law, but certainly we're here to support Hailey and her family and as a tribute to her.
He says Hailey was kind and generous. In a post on social media, the Kitchen on Main said, "Rest in peace, Hailey. We are all mourning your tragedy and command justice for you." Your statewide news network covers Jay County, where state police say 3 people are dead after a crash involving several vehicles. Police say it happened on State Road 67 near County Road 550 before 4 yesterday afternoon. Investigators say a semi traveling on 67 swerved to avoid another semi that had slowed down. Then it hit a van traveling the other way, head on. Investigators have not said what vehicles the people killed were in. Investigators in Arizona are asking for the public's help finding Today Show host Savannah Guthrie's mom. The plea comes as the motive for her disappearance remains a mystery. 84-year-old Nancy Guthrie went missing from her home in Arizona over the weekend. Police say they have found signs of forced entry at the home. The Associated Press is reporting that investigators do not believe the abduction is part of a robbery, home invasion, or kidnapping for ransom plot. But TMZ and Arizona news stations, at least one, say they have received ransom notes for Guthrie's release. Both have turned the letters over to investigators who say they are taking the notes seriously but declined to comment further.
We are following all leads we have. That's all I can tell you. We've got hundreds of leads, and it's from you that produce those leads by telling people we need help, and I'm grateful for that. But I'm not going to get into all that. I'm not saying there's blood inside that house or outside that house. What I'm saying is our team processed a scene like you would think of any crime scene. We go in and we process it.
Investigators say Nancy is sound of mind and has limited mobility, but may not survive without her daily medication. She is still believed to have been taken against her will. Marion County Prosecutor Ryan Mears is blasting federal authorities for how they are conducting President Trump's immigration crackdown across the country. Mears was one of the featured speakers yesterday at a meeting of different religious leaders here in Indianapolis. The prosecutor talked about ICE agents killing 2 people in Minneapolis last month. He also accused the Trump administration of carrying out occupations of American cities.
It's hard when we see a Department of Justice which routinely defies federal court orders. It's hard when we see ICE agents out in our streets routinely violate the constitutional rights of citizens. And when 2 people were murdered in the middle of the street, the Department of Justice's response initially was to investigate the victims rather than the people who pulled the trigger.
New IMPD Chief Tanya Terry also spoke at the event. She says her officers are committed to serving every member of the community, regardless of their immigration status. Part of the federal government is reopening today after President Trump signed a bill ending a temporary shutdown and set up a debate in Congress over Homeland Security funding. The bill was part of a deal struck between Trump and Senate Democrats to fund Homeland Security at current levels until the end of next week. Democrats are seeking new restrictions on immigration enforcement tactics before agreeing to fund Homeland Security for the rest of the fiscal year. Okay, sports now. Super Bowl 60 is a Sunday in San Francisco, and for the 9th straight year, Wish TV is bringing you an all-access pass to the biggest stories. Sports director Anthony Calhoun is in California and caught up with a Colts icon ahead of the Patriots-Seahawks matchup.
Hey guys, good morning to you here in the Bay Area as we continue to get ready for Super Bowl 60 between the Patriots and the Seahawks. As far as the Seahawks, they're in the big game for the first time since 2015. Those Patriots trying to do something that no NFL team has been able to do, and that is win 7 Lombardi trophies. You know, you Colts fans back there in Indy, I know you despise the fact that the Patriots are in another Super Bowl once again. I had a chance to talk to former Colts head coach Tony Dungy about those Patriots. And yes, you fans back there in Indy, when you see this story coming up, it's going to make you say, no way. Colts Patriots, one of the most heated rivalries in the NFL for decades. And today, there's still no love lost between the two franchises. So when former Super Bowl winning Colts coach Tony Dungy got the call from Patriots coach Mike Vrabel asking Dungy to speak with his team earlier this season, caught Dungy by surprise.
I said, this is unusual for a Colt to be invited into a Patriots meeting room, and all the guys laughed. But we talked about things that are bigger than football and bigger than rivalries, and what it means to represent your team well, what it means to be a great teammate and part of something special. And I could tell at that time that they were building something special.
It must have been quite the talk, because the Patriots won 9 straight games after Dungy spent time with the team.
Well, I was honored, really. It just told me that the amount of times we had played against each other, the respect that was built up, and he had respect for me, I had respect for him, and the fact that he felt I could talk to his team and add something made me really feel good, so I was honored.
Vrabel is trying to become the first person to win a Super Bowl as a player and coach with the same team if his Patriots can beat the Seahawks on Sunday in Super Bowl 60.
Patriots are playing very disciplined. They're playing together. They're playing without mistakes, and they're playing with belief. And I think that is really a tribute to Mike Vrabel. He has reestablished the culture. He's done it the way he wanted to do it, and he's done it in a way that everybody embraces it, and they've all come together. I didn't think it would happen this fast, but to get a team to the Super Bowl 1 year after only winning 4 games is unbelievable.
As hard as it might be for a former Colt to admit, even Dungy must acknowledge the masterful job Vrabel has done to get New England back in his first Super Bowl since 2018.
He does things differently, but he has made up his mind how he wants to do it, and he's authentic. And so that resonates with his players. They believe in him, and they're going to do well for a number of years there, no doubt in my mind.
And by the way, I want to mention, don't forget, we got much more on this story and all the stories surrounding Super Bowl 60. Download the All Indiana Sports app. Everything you need to know about the big week and so much more. It is right there, literally on the app. So scan that QR code and download the All Indiana Sports app. And by the way, Coach Dungy, he did tell me that he did spend some time with the Seattle Seahawks earlier in the season, actually during the preseason, got a chance to talk to them. And who would have thought those two teams he spoke to during the season are now playing in the biggest game in sports, Super Bowl 60. We got much more on the big week coming up right here on Wish TV. Before I send it back to you in Indy, I want you to take a look here, right here behind me, the Golden Gate Bridge here in the Bay Area, here in San Francisco. And folks, I tell you what, it is just stunning. You can't do it justice when you walk up to this bridge and you see it in person. It is breathtaking indeed. Wow, it's going to be a lot of fun here coming up, leading up to Super Bowl 60. Anthony Calhoun, Wish TV, and WishTV.com.
An Indiana fighter pilot will be a part of the national anthem flyover at the Super Bowl. Navy says Commander Mike Jennings will be one of 4 pilots to take flight on Sunday over Levi Stadium in California. Jennings is a 19-year Navy veteran. He graduated from Mooresville High School in 2002 and from Purdue 4 years later. In a statement from the Navy, Jennings says he is excited for his children to get to see what he does for a living on TV. Students at Notre Dame are embracing the cold and snow and built an ice chapel on campus. The school posted on X that more than 1,600 Notre Dame students braved 19-degree temps for a mass at what is now called St. Olaf's Chapel. The school shared some pretty cool pictures and videos of the moment this week on social media. You should go check them out. Notre Dame says students from Coyle Hall built the chapel from 38 inches of January snow. Hey, putting the snow and cold to some good use. This has been your News 8 Daily from Wish TV. I'm Hannah Mordeau. Watch us on Wish TV and WishTV.com.
This is the News 8 Daily 8 podcast, a Wish TV News 8 update on demand. For even more, on demand and on the go. Connect with Wish TV on Facebook at WishTV.com and on the free Wish TV mobile app. Thank you for listening. And be sure to like, subscribe, and follow this podcast for updates every weekday morning on the All Indiana Podcast Network and wherever you get your podcast.